Hello everyone, this is a quick video on peering connection. Now I'll give you a brief overview of what I'm doing. So what I've done, I already have a VPC in North Virginia region, and this VPC is on CIDR block. This make sure the other CIDR block is different from this CIDR block. So what we do in peering connection, we usually connect users of one area or one region to another region or zone or different CIDR block or different VPC, and we access them without going to the public internet. So this is a very common practice when the corporate office or their regional office try to communicate with each other and try to use the resources of each other office. So VPC peering is very secure and it is internal to AWS. Now what we have done, this is already there. In this I have created an EC2 instance, and this instance is already running on a public IP address. So this is up and running. Another region, okay, now for this the region is North Virginia. I have created another VPC, which VPC is in Singapore region and is on a different CIDR block. I have created various subnets which were created by default, and this is my default root table. So this is my default root table, and both the public subnets are connected to it. So if you go to your VPC, if you select it, and if you have a look at your resource map, you can see that your public subnet root table is connected to public subnets and the private root tables are connected to private. So we will do a separate video on endpoints. Now we have created a EC2 instance and we do not have a public IP address, and it is up and running. Now what happens when a EC2 instance does not have a public IP address? That means it cannot access the internet. If it cannot access the internet, that means I also as a user cannot access it. But I, who is here in this region, would like to communicate with instance of this region without going on public internet. So this is where VPC peering comes into action. So what we do here is we go to peering connection. So for example, I'm in Singapore. I say create a peering connection and I want a VPC peer. So I'll call it as a peer SYN peer US. Let's call it this way. Singapore would like to peer with US. This is my Singapore VPC. This is my account only, but I want to click this in another region, and the region is US East 1, and the VPC ID is this. So I'll just copy this VPC ID, and this is what I'm going to paste it here, and just click create peering connection. So you will immediately see that a connection has come up, but the connection is not active. It is asking the user that please activate this connection. So if I go in this VPC, which is in North Virginia, if I click on peering connection, you will see it is saying pending acceptance. If I click on action and I say accept request, and I immediately go here, you will see that the connection will be active soon. It is awaiting acceptance and I've already accepted it. It is active now. So the two regions are now able to communicate with each other with connections active. The only two things you need to do now here is, which is very important. I don't want to confuse you with so many things. You do this or do that. Very simple process is go to root table, go to your public root table, which is this, go to your roots, click on edit and say I want anybody who comes from this IP addresses, which is here, and this VPC, see here, anybody who comes from here and uses a peering connection, allow him to come. So this is something I'm telling to Singapore. Similarly, I go in US. Again, I go to my route table, the default one. I say, I want anyone who is coming from 192.168.0.0.168.0.0/20. I think this is the IP address or the pool of IP addresses I have. Yeah. If anybody comes from any of these IP addresses and is communicating through peering connection, just say good morning and welcome. Here it is. Now the connections are active. Let's connect this instance. So I click on this, I click on connect, I click on instant connect, and my machine is connected. Now this EC2 instance here, the key is key SG. And this key SG file, I have opened it using text editor, and this is the file. If you have a look here. So if you look here and I select it, edit file, format font, and I'm going to make them big. So it's command ++. So this is the file. So I just clicked on file, open, and I copied the content. So you can also open wherever your key file you have saved, which is your key. And this is my machine that is connected. I click here. I've already copied this file, but I'll redo it for you. I'm going to say rm key sg.pem. Yes. Okay, so I don't have anything here. So I say sudo vim, and the file is key sg.pem. Press I, copy this. Oh, sorry. Copy this. You can use nano or whatever editor you want. Paste it. Escape :wq. Save it. ls-l, and I need to change all these permissions of this file only to read. So I'll use sudo chmod change mode 400, which is only read, only for the owner, and it will be key sg.pem. Once again, I'll do ls-l. Now you see all the permissions are removed. Now before you do, make sure in your security group here, you make sure that port number 22 is open, and I'm allowing connection from anyone who is coming from this IP address or this pool of IP addresses in Singapore region. So here it is. The private IP address of this machine is this. I just need this IP address. I just type sudo ssh ec2-user @ this is the IP address 253-i, which is the key file, and the name of the file is key sg.pem. And see, from this machine, which is this IP address, this machine, which is 192.168.0.253. So you have started accessing the other machine. So if I say ls-l, there's nothing on this machine. You do whatever you want now. You can say sudo yum update -y. So if it needs any update, it will update it. If it is not needed, it won't update it. So nothing to do. If you say sudo yum sudo yum install httpd-y, so you are actually doing it on other machine from this machine. But so this is one way of communicating with the other machine using your machine on another region and communicating with the machine on another region with a public IP address. So I'll cancel this, but yes, you can do it. So what I'm trying to say is that you can communicate or you can use the resources of another region or another. You can add file, you can delete file, you can modify the files, and you can update the resources in another region without actually asking those users to use it. So you can, if you want to run any patch, you want to have any updates, you want to delete any files, you want to restrict anything, you can do it by just using this VPC peering command. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.